this September. Starring great weather, spectacular landscapes, and possibly you. Summer in the NT. Why wait till December? Summer starts early in the Northern Territory. Seek an early summer holiday in the NT. Different in every sense.
It's night 6 of the NBL Blitz in Darwin, and the reigning premiers hit the floor for the second time this pre-season. The champs, the Sydney Kings, are in action against the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix. The Kings opened their account with a loss to the Jack Jumpers on Saturday, while the Phoenix are 5 games deep into a pre-season that so far hasn't returned a W. And they're still without some big names in Trey Cal, Ryan Brockhoff and Mitch Creek. They're looking to make some inroads in their final game of the Blitz campaign. The Kings have still got one to come on Friday against New Zealand. Joel Peterson here with you on KO Freebies, alongside me, former NBL MVP Corey Homicide Williams. Looking forward to this one, Corey. It should be good fun.
I sure am. Both of these teams aren't in the best form during their Blitz campaign. However, there's some good talent still on the floor, so I'm looking forward to, specifically, the marquee point guard matchup. Derek Walton Jr. versus Gary Brown. Two talented young men hoping to lead their team to a W this afternoon.
Walton Jr. is described by Coach Chase Buford as an elite facilitator. He's a big addition to this Sydney team.
He is. Huge shoes to fill, obviously, with MVP gone, Jalen Adams. But he can pass the ball well. He can shoot it. He can handle the hell out of it. He can get to pretty much anywhere he wants to on the floor, and he's going to be a big key to how this team runs. Because, again, he's a hell of a facilitator. So he's going to be creating a lot for easy opportunities for his teammates.
You saw the Kings on Saturday. We were talking earlier that, pre-season is one thing. It's not too much to get carried away with. Was there anything to be worried about with that loss to the Jack Jumpers?
No, not at all. Maybe they'll have a little bit of champagne hangover, obviously, championship hangover. And, it's early days. So I'm not really worried about this team. Plus, me personally, they get a bit of a pass till round 5.
Round 5.
Now, I usually start giving my opinions in round 3.
The champions just get a bit extra leeway.
Exactly, because they are exactly that, the reigning champions.
All right, we put them on the back burner until round 5. What about the Phoenix? Without Creek, without Brockhoff, without Trey Cal, there's clearly an opportunity for some lesser lights to stand up, but it's who can fill the void.
Exactly. I like Grant, and pardon my French for, I don't want to butcher his last name.
Andasevich.
There we go, Andasevich. And I like how aggressive he is and how he's going about it so far. And I also need, this time, an opportunity for Ruben Tarangi to step up early this time around, because he's going to be getting a whole lot of minutes, if obviously with Brockhoff injured. So hopefully he can get off to a good start in this one.
274 games into his career is Ruben Tarangi, a very experienced prospect. And, of course, the other big name that they've got is the man they call Big Sauce, Alan Williams, coming in at 117 kilos. He's had a double-double in their most recent outing. He's got NBA experience with his hometown Phoenix Suns. He is a big man to contend with.
He definitely is a big man. Game 1 in the Blitz, he was missing a lot of stuff around the rim and got in foul trouble early, but Game 2 obviously bounced back. Hopefully he can continue that form and play even better. But I think it's a really good pickup. Obviously, anybody with NBA experience should be an asset to your club, and I look forward for him to be doing big things this season for him.
He's going to be a big part of this Southeast Melbourne team if they are to go toward the postseason. When these two sides met last season, Sydney swept the season series 84-73 in the first encounter. The other two are pretty narrow, though, 92-87 and 91-89, both on Southeast Melbourne's home floor. So they played some interesting, some pretty exciting games last year. We know that they've got a little bit of turnover, the Kings, and the Phoenix have brought in a few new faces as well. They're 2 games in the books so far in this NBL Blitz, going down to Adelaide and to Perth. They start the season, the Phoenix, with Tasmania on Saturday, the 1st of October. Sydney have got New Zealand to come on Friday in the NBL Blitz up here in Darwin, and then they start their campaign against Illawarra on the same Saturday, October the 1st. So not too far away from a start in this one. Last night, Tyler Harvey had 27 points to lead Illawarra to a 95-81 win over New Zealand, which was pretty impressive. And Tyler Johnson, he's the one of the big recruits into Brisbane. Corey hit the game winner with 15 seconds remaining to lead the Bullets over Cairns, 77-76. A couple of entertaining games last night.
There is a lot to be excited about in Brisbane. They are the real deal. Tyler Johnson, he's for real.
Yeah.
And it's good to see these signs early from him. They're only going to get better. Obviously, minutes restrictions for Nathan Sobey, but that backcourt is going to be one of the best in this league. Not to mention the big banger.
The big man, Aaron Baines.
Aaron Baines. There's nobody one-on-one equipped in this league to defend him. I think the only person that has a chance would be Allen Williams.
Yep.
Outside of that, there's nobody else one-on-one that's going to be able to stop him, especially those deep catches when he's running the floor. That should be the first option every time. Look at the big fella in the paint on those deep seals.
Bullets back in action on Friday night against Melbourne United, having played a couple against United already in this pre-season campaign. So starting lineups getting set. Xavier Cook's out there. Dejan Vasiljevic for Sydney. Tim Suarez as well. Looking forward to seeing what Justin Simon can produce. And Derek Walton as well. Big sources out there for Southeast Melbourne with Ruben Tarangi, Gary Brown, Kyle Adnam, and Grant Andasevich. So the Kings and the Phoenix both looking for a first win in NBL Blitz later tonight. More action coming your way with Melbourne United and Perth, 2 of the big names in the competition doing battle in this doubleheader on night 6 of the Blitz. And the Phoenix will get an opportunity to go straight to work. And we see that point guard matchup straight away, Corey.
Oh, yeah, 2 elite point guards. You better believe they'll be going at it. And I like the fact that they went right inside to the big fella to put pressure on the defense. Good catch, deep catch. Wasn't able to finish that one. If I'm correct, that was a foul on Source. And it'll be out of bounds underneath.
Getting Williams involved early and often. Here's Adnam going baseline. He's fouled as well, so a couple of early calls on the Kings.
Nice curl. It's always a good feeling early when a shooter like Kyle Adnam gets fouled in the act of shooting, goes to the free throw line, gets comfortable, and get that dialing. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Ain't nothing like getting to the free throw line early.
No better spot to dial it in, is there?
And getting some buckets early.
Splits them. Kyle Adnam, he had 16 on 7 of 13 shooting against Perth, 19 against the Sixers the other night. He's the big Brazilian Suarez. I like what he can provide, especially at the defensive end now, moving screen. So a turnover from the Kings on their offensive possession. They had 21 turnovers on Friday.
That is, as we all know, on any level, way too many.
That's a bit of early season rust. Adnam been impressive. Williams tries to show off his touch. Simon coming the other way, and now a walk against the Kings.
2 sloppy possessions, 2 turnovers. Coach won't be happy with that one.
That's Simon Mitchell, who's not
Sporting his
pleased.
shorts, too.
As you would in Darwin, I reckon.
For sure. Is Coach Mitchell ever pleased? I like his style, though. He works the refs every chance he gets.
Yeah, he's a tactician on the court and along the sidelines. Nice little turnaround from Adnam. He's got all three for the Phoenix early doors.
Got a lot of respect for Kyle Adnam for his height. He's so crafty with the ball. He's an inspiration to a lot of guards, 6 foot and under.
Cooks makes a move inside.
And that right there, he's going to be on attack mode every possession.
A little bit of chat about him being in the MVP conversation.
For sure. I have him in my conversation. I actually said he'll be MVP of the league. I have him picked to be MVP of the league.
I mean, second half of the year last year was
Unbelievable.
crazy.
Unbelievable. But his work rate, I got a lot of respect for how he goes about it. He exudes confidence. He'll tell you how confident he is as well.
He's not alone there.
It ain't just Ray John Tucker.
I reckon there's a hierarchy there. I reckon Rajon Tucker's number one. He's the number one seed. And then the rest are sort of playing for the wild card.
Oh, man. I love the confidence, though. That's how you have to, as an import and as a former import, you want to come into a league that confident.
Yeah.
You know, so I like how he said what he said. He said, I'm the best new import. Obviously, we know who the best import is, so I respect that. Comes in, hopefully he can walk his talk.
We get to see that matchup a little bit later tonight, too, of Tucker and Cotton, which is going to be something to like. And there's something to like from big Tim Suarez.
Tim Suarez, that's what he does. Love his story. An underdog, played NAIA, was All-American 3 years, and now is with the defending champions.
Spent a little bit of time in the Summer League over the off-season as Williams goes up and in strong move.
I love his aggression. Just hope that he can find the balance early and not get into foul trouble. Because the Phoenix, last few years, have had big men that have been foul prone in this league. Nice 3-ball by none other than DJV.
He's another one that could be set for elite. Of course, coming off injury last season, did some nice things. He's got the green light from Chase Buford.
What a story.
Fire at will.
What a story. Rookie season comes in on fire. Horrific injury. He and Jack White go down. Same injury. Rehab, comes back the following year, wins a championship, was an integral part of the team and that run, and hit that dagger in game 2. And from there, it's been a beautiful thing to watch. Went to Summer League when he got his opportunities, played good basketball, shot the ball well, came back, played NBL 1, and continued that great form. And here he is today. He's going to have a huge year and career in the NBL.
He's such a promising prospect still. Just 26 years of age. So much to like about the way that this man goes about it. Here's Walton turning the corner. Had that taken away by Tarangi. Suarez was able to regather it.
Gets fouled. He goes to the charity stripe for 2. Stretch 5. Good stroke on him.
Know how valuable that floor stretching ability is from the big man position.
Especially when you have guards that can penetrate and get to the basket. It draws the defense, and the 5 men are naturally basket protectors. So as far as being able to stretch the floor from the 3, your big man has to pick his poison. Do I let the guard turn the corner and go? Protect the rim, or do I step my behind out to the 3? Because my big man is cashing it in from down, from the land of plenty.
As we saw earlier, he's not afraid to try his luck either. He had 14 points and 6.5 rebounds in the Israeli League. His most recent completed season. So, started 3-0, the Phoenix. Been most of the Kings since then as Williams makes his move And he's fouled again.
Love it. Williams is being assertive on the offensive end. And this is a good look. Obviously, no Mitch Creek, no Bruckoff, no Trey Kell. Make an emphasis of getting the big fella involved. And so far, so good. Missed a couple of chippies so far around the basket, but I like his aggressiveness and assertiveness.
He's going to have some of the defense in foul trouble as well. Breaks a 4-0 Kings burst. Can't get the second to go. Here's Cooks taking it inside. Nice finish.
Nice take in the open court. Semi-transition. Able to get an easy bucket, and he is in really good form. Coming off finals MVP, Gary Brown with a nice mid-range way to work that screen. Hit that elbow. Mid-range. Oh, yeah, he's going.
A bit of a mood is Cooks.
And one.
Suarez takes it baseline.
Good backdoor cut. Maybe Cooks got in a little bit of trouble, lost the handle. Big fella recognized. If I go back door, I may be able to get a pass. Gets it and finishes it. And one. Both big guys have come to play in this one.
4 from 4 early stages, the Kings. After a couple of turnovers on the offensive end, they haven't come up empty on another possession.
Kings get a 4-point lead with a chance to extend it to 5 after starting the game off with 2 sloppy possessions.
They never take long to click into gear, do they?
No, they do not. That's why they get 5 rounds.
Oh, 5 weeks.
Pardon from me.
Do whatever you want for 5 weeks. Kick it away. And then you can settle into your stuff. The reigning champs. Adams spins inside. Can't get that to go. Williams with the putback. He is active early.
It's great activity around the basket. Comes up with the loose ball. Real good defense right there. Don't get charged. Gary Brown gets up.
A little bit sore too, Gary Brown. Just he made his way to his feet. He's back into play now. Here's Noy, who's checked into the game.
He is looking for a sub.
That's not a good sign. So no Creek, no Brockhoff, no Trey Kell, and now Gary Brown limping his way off the floor. Oh, and Foxwell will come in for the Phoenix. Among all that, the Kings missed their first field goal attempt of the evening. So they're just the 83% now at 5 of 6 from the field. So that is a worry. One to monitor.
Big time worry. Hopefully he's okay.
He's going to be such a live wire for them. Such a beautiful ball handler. He's Gary Brown, the Puerto Rican national. So Adnam's going to have to shoulder a lot of offensive responsibility.
And the good thing about that, Kyle Adnam can do exactly that.
And a bit of high pressure as well. As Foxwell. Williams continues his good early start. Tarangi's fouled on the way
It's
through.
a beautiful take. Wat Noy got his left hip attacked. Couldn't do anything that possession but foul. Good take by Tarangi. He goes to the charity stripe for 2.
Sean Bruce out there now for the Kings.
A lot of respect for Sean Bruce. Went through a lot of injuries. He did his thing on the lower ranks. With NBL 1, MVP, champion, and continued to get opportunities, small opportunities. One earlier with Adelaide, I think one he had with Cairns. But the opportunity that changed everything for him was with Sydney Kings on that super stacked team. And for him to come in and back up Casper Ware, he put up career numbers, and here he is today. One of my favorite players in the league.
And a critical part of their championship team last year.
He made so many right decisions down the stretch of the championship series games. You got to remember, Jalen Adams was out, injured. He steps in, cool, calm, and collective. and made plays happen at both ends. That's a quality luxury, actually, to have coming off your bench.
Out of Horsham in Western Victoria, same as Mitch Creek. Country association that's produced a couple of top talents. Walton's second foul shot won't go. Adams looking for an option on the offensive end. He's going to have to do it all himself and then tosses it away.
Good defense by Sean Bruce. Applying the pressure at the half court. Simon goes out. Galloway comes in. A couple subs enter in the game.
It's looked good, Jalen Galloway. A couple of slashing moves to the basket in the earlier game against Tassie.
A really good young. The Galloway brothers have a bright future in Australian basketball.
Jalen at the RAS, and now Quite Noise called for a walk. Ruben Tarangi's going to take a seat. First of two games on this Wednesday evening. Depending on where you are, the start of an extra long weekend. Of course, public holiday tomorrow around the country. Turnover from the Phoenix. Here's Galloway. Oh, had it rejected. Junior Madut goes upstairs and swats it.
It's just great defense, and that's the type of energy you need coming off your bench, especially on the defensive end. When you're short three players, Creek, Kel, Brokoff out,
and now
potentially
Gary Brown. Didn't look like he was on the bench either, Gary Brown, so it looked like he had gone back into the locker room.
I like Junior Madut. I like his energy. I like his edginess. He's a tough player. I haven't seen much of him, but only in the Blitz. And when he's coming in these games, he's playing hard at both ends.
Played college at Hawaii, the Rainbow Warriors. Had 11 against Adelaide. He was 2 of 2 from downtown. And then against Perth, he was 1 of 6 and had a couple of wild air balls. But he's not going to...
He ain't shying away from it.
Nope. He's not going to die wondering, his junior. Splashes a couple in at the stripe, which might dial him in for the evening. Tied away at 16. Wiley Bales out there for the Kings. Oh, lovely move again. Galloway showing his stuff getting inside.
It's a beautiful take. Nice hesitation, crossover, and finish.
Smith-Milner with the soft touch.
Just beautiful usage of that screen, re-screen by Adnam. Get Smith-Milner, nice floater.
Another experienced face who's been brought in for this Blitz campaign for the Phoenix. Now call going against the Kings. 4th turnover of the opening frame. Have their work cut out hanging around in this one. The Phoenix, given the names there without, but they're doing a good job of it early stages. Little two-man game between Foxwell and Smith-Milner as Foxwell steps back and drains it.
This young fella has so much confidence, and coach believes in him, and right now is a perfect example. Brown goes down. He's going to have more minutes to play. Not only does he knock down a three off the dribble, he also gets a stop on defense. And these are things that you need to do as a young player, trying to gain the confidence of the coach or keep the confidence or strengthen the confidence. He's done that so far.
Only featured in a handful of games last season and 23 minutes the other night, doing some good things here Junior Madut makes the free throw line jump shot, and timeout called by the Kings.
He is doing all the right things so far in this Blitz campaign of his to become a player in rotation. You could probably rely on coming off that bench so far. I like what I see. Beautiful take. Some of the highlights, some of the plays so far in this first quarter of action.
So Suarez got 7 for the Kings. Williams with 5 points, 4 rebounds. Very active early for the Phoenix. And he's going to need to be as well, because they're a little bit short-handed. An ankle injury for Mitch Creek. We saw Ryan Brockhoff behind the Phoenix bench watching on, part of their leadership group. There he is, standing right of screen in the glasses. Watching Simon Mitchell address his troops.
Hopefully Brockhoff is not too far off. He plays such an integral part of this team. NBA experience and his sharp shooting ability from the land of plenty.
He's another one who just makes the right play at the right time as well.
And he's a hell of a rebounder, and he plays good defense as well. So he's not just a three-point shooter.
Rajon Tucker style. He ticks a few boxes.
He's got next.
He's a box ticker. So Phoenix ball out of the timeout. Foxwell with a little runner.
Man.
Got a few tricks. Seven points, the Phoenix lead. Game high. Another turnover for the Kings. That's 7.
That's just great weak side rotation. Come off the far corner, put both your feet in the paint, anticipated the pass, comes up with a steal, and gets fouled. Kings over the limit, which puts Madut to the charity stripe for 2.
And 2,000 about the opening 30 seconds, the Kings, and hasn't abated in the early stages. Junior Madut's got 5, so 2 Foxwell. Suarez taking a seat at the moment for the Kings with 7 leads all scorers. Junior Madut gets a couple to go. 27-18 with a minute and a half remaining in this opening frame of night 6 in the NBL Blitz at the Darwin basketball facility. Beautiful part of the world, the top end of Australia. Nice little 2-man game and a nice finish. Cook takes it inside, kisses it off the glass.
If you need a basket, why not get it to the most experienced player on the court for the Kings? He delivers.
56% from the field last year, Xavier Cooks, across the course of the season, which is absolutely outrageous. Try to dump that one off to Hunter. And another Kings turnover. Make it 8 in the opening quarter.
And that right there will be the conversation in 46 seconds in that huddle. Take care of the ball.
Going to have to be a focus. As we said, 21 turnovers in their opening game of this Blitz. Madut has it swatted by Galloway. Snuck up behind him.
Good hands from the youngster, not giving up on the play. Blocks it from behind. It's that length and athleticism that Galloway has.
A whistle on the play. Junior Madut pleading his case with the referee. You ever had a referee change their decision after you have a chat to them?
Never. It just never, ever happens. Not on a foul. Maybe an out-of-bounds play.
Yeah.
But definitely not a foul. Phoenix over the line.
Sievich at the line. Beautiful looking King strip as well.
Yeah, it is.
Indigenous detail down the flanks. Always had top quality uniforms, and there's quite a few of them in the NBL this season.
Yeah, I'm loving the Breakers pink.
Breakers have always got good kits.
Cans Taipans with the snake skin.
Now turnover from Foxwell.
Sydney Kings put pressure up on the ball. Full court. Kevin Lish on the sideline coaching. How did we miss that?
Fleur McIntyre got the gig on Saturday.
Which was beautiful.
First woman to coach in the NBL fixture. Hunter can't get it to go. Foxwell tries his luck, and that's well short. And we go to quarter time. The Phoenix up by 5. They jumped out of the blocks early. The Kings reeled things back, but then some turnovers and some good offensive possessions to end that opening term from the Phoenix. That's a pretty encouraging start.
27 points is a lot in one quarter. Kings will be talking about defense and taking care of the ball, which they have not done in this quarter.
8 turnovers in that opening frame for the Kings. Not the way they would have wanted to start this game. They were 5 of 5 early doors. Of course, later on tonight, Melbourne United and Perth doing battle. The Wildcats in action again. Tim Suarez with 7 in that opening frame. Junior Madut with 6, and Owen Foxwell showing some nice things with 5 points. The youngster continuing to step into the brink for the Phoenix. Alan Williams leads the way in rebounds, and he was targeted with the opening possession of the game, Corey, and he just continued on his merry way from there.
Yeah, he was. He had 5 points in that first quarter and 4 rebounds, as you can see. Big men started going at it. Suarez had 7 points. So both of those big guys showing some good play from them both in the first quarter. But the story so far in this first quarter has to be Gary Brown.
Yep.
Is he coming back in this second quarter, or is he out for the game? We'll see. See some of the plays from the first quarter.
Hadn't got them started well. Beautiful move. Finish with the offhand by Galloway. Foxwell able to step behind the three-point line and nail one of his 5 points in the opening frame. So night 6 up in Darwin. Of course, season only days away now. 11 points from turnovers in that opening frame for the Phoenix. And that immediately, DJ gets to work.
That is a beautiful, well-executed play. Get an easy layup by the Kings to start this quarter off. Beautiful Euro step and finish by Xavier Cooks. The great thing about him is he's a one-man fast break. Once he gets the rebound, he can push it, as you can see, coast to coast and finish around the basket as good as anybody in this league.
He's got some tricks and 203 centimetres. It makes them all the more effective. Tarangi likes it from downtown again. Can't connect. Foxwell's in there. Good hustle.
Fantastic hustle by the young fella. And that's how you get minutes on the court. It's the 1%ers. It's those 50-50 balls that you get and win. That's all effort right there.
Doing a good job of staking his claim for some early rotation minutes in this NBL 23 season. Timeout early stages in this second period. Give Kevin Lish a chance to discuss things with his side. Simon Mitchell can go to work with his as well. The Kings, a 4-0 run to start this second period. Joel Peterson and League MVP Corey Homicide Williams with you on KO Freebies. Great to have your company on this Wednesday evening. First of our double header this evening. If you missed us last night, a couple of absolute rippers. Illawarra by 4 over the Breakers behind 27 from Tyler Harvey, and Tyler Johnson with the game winner for the Bullets over the Cairns. Who's caught your eye in terms of teams in the opening stage? You talked about Brisbane a bit earlier, Corey. Who else do you like the look
Adelaide 36ers.
Antonius Cleveland, Craig Randall.
It's so crazy because out of their whole team, we haven't even mentioned DJ.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like, for that to be, that is a beautiful thing.
He's going to be a fascinating watch, is Daniel Johnson, because we know what he's capable of. He knows what he's capable of, but what role does CJ Bruton need him to play in that team? I mean, he for so long has been the one with the ball in his hand at the end of the game. Is he going to be this season? And if he's not, how does that unfold?
They have really, really spent the big bucks and reloaded. And it's been well overdue. That city loves basketball. That used to be Title Town. I know John Casey's listening to this. I am more than sure you are one happy man right now, as well as the rest of the 36ers fans.
Their fourth season now at the Entertainment Centre as well, so in their new venue. Still sort of newish owners as well for the Sixers, so still looking to make a bit of a splash. Of course, that first season things didn't go to plan. They got rid of Joey Wright, they got Jerome Randall back, didn't make the impact that they would have wanted. And then, of course, Josh Giddey made an impact in an all different direction as Foxwell lines it up from way downtown. So they've certainly had some talent there. It's just not necessarily been at that championship caliber of a team. Do you think they've got the goods this season?
They have the goods. I believe they're legit title contenders. You know, you got to look at Perth Wildcats. That's a team I picked to win the whole thing.
Yep.
Brisbane. Adelaide. Do not discount. Last week on NBL Overtime, I gave 10 reasons why I still believe in the Jack Jumpers.
Yep.
Melbourne United.
I feel like there's more championship contenders than there aren't.
There's 4. Well, there's 3. There's 3 legit.
3 legit?
Legit. Perth, Adelaide, Brisbane.
Yep.
Brisbane's the real deal.
What about the reigning champions, who are 26-27 down to the Phoenix at the moment?
Well,
are they in your second tier?
that's a good block. Nice. Big fella. They're in my second tier at the moment. But again, I can't discuss them till round 5.
Nice feed as well from Williams. Kicks it out to Andasevich. So he does the defensive work and then turns facilitator on the offensive end.
I said that's a real good addition to the lineup.
And again.
Big fella. Protecting the rim.
Nice little series from Alan Williams here. Madut goes baseline. Can't get it to go. Pulls down his own miss. Andasevich steps it outside. Madut's in there again and one.
All hustle. I knew I liked this kid from the moment I saw him game 1 at the Blitz. All hustle and heart right there. That's all effort. Again, when you're coming off the bench and you want the coach to believe in you, this is the type of play you have to show. I don't even need plays ran for me. I'm going to go get it off the rim. Real good effort.
Outstanding hustle from Junior Madut. He has made a really bright start and gets a friendly roll, which he deserved after that effort. So 9 points for Junior Madut early. Here's Walton putting the ball on the floor. Gets inside. Nice move.
And that's a beautiful take and finish with the left hand. Great body control and ability to handle the ball. Nice Tim Hardaway-esque crossover. Get Madut a little bit off balance to give him the advantage. He went up and finished with the left hand. Then told Madut a little bit about it. As Madut takes a walk to the bench. Good effort and good minutes by Madut.
Yeah, absolutely. Walton adds the bonus. So 4 points for Derek Walton early. He's coming off a season leading the G League in assists at almost 10 a game. Run the point this season for the Kings. Whistle on the play.
Walton Jr. is legit. As you just mentioned, led the G League in assists. He was a parade All-American. He was one of the best high school players in America. That's not easy to do. Offensive foul. Good defense. These two big guys are going at it.
And they are big guys as well.
I like it.
They are legit. So yeah, Walton's, he sort of bounced around with a couple of NBA programs with Miami. He was with Detroit for a while, the Clippers.
Yep.
Of course, he played his college ball at Michigan.
Yep.
16 assists in a game, still holds the single season record for the Wolverines. Storied program in Ann Arbor. He takes it inside again and he'll go to the line.
And that's what he can do. Not only can he shoot the ball from three at a good clip, he can also break you down off the dribble.
So 12 points on 5 of 14 shooting. He was 2 of 5 from behind the arc against the Jack Jumpers on Friday. And if you've just joined us here on KO Freebies, Gary Brown went down with an injury early stages for the Phoenix, playing 4.5 minutes, and we haven't seen him since.
And that right there is a scare.
So no Creek, no Brockoff, no Trey Cowell with a rib injury. And now no Gary Brown, at least for the time being, for the Phoenix, who opened their account against Tassie.
Another offensive foul. Williams. He gets 2 fouls in the span of about 45 seconds.
You said earlier, Corey, he had to sort of control that aggression to keep himself out of foul trouble. Probably talking a little bit more about the defensive end than the offensive end.
I sure was talking about the defensive end, but he's forced to take a seat with 6 minutes left.
That's a big blow. Galloway gets inside.
Man, what a take. Nice rip to the middle, 2 dribbles, and he gets on the rim and finishes while taking the hit. Great take.
The youngsters making moves for the Kings. Ties it up at 33.
Man, the Galloway brothers, they are going to be seriously, a couple more years under their belt, they could be running this league. They're that good.
They're plenty ahead of them, both the Galloway boys.
Oh.
Now another offensive foul, getting a little bit chippy. Had a Sevic in there. Simon Mitchell's not thrilled. Foxwell and Suarez exchanging words. A little bit chippy in this preseason fixture.
Guys trying to get wins, man. It's a tight contest. Just under, little under 6 minutes left in the half. 1 point game. Guys playing hard.
That's what we like to see. We've seen plenty of it throughout this NBL Blitz as well.
Yeah, the Blitz has been highly competitive. Guys are going at it. Ain't no easy wins. Kansas coming with it. Bryce Cotton had to drop 36 to get that W.
Wouldn't mind him going with that again as Walton lays it in. course, they'll be in action against Melbourne United later tonight. Just had the 7 in his follow-up effort, Bryce Cotton, but we know what he's capable of. And in there on the defensive end by Galloway for the Kings.
What I did like to see was Brady Manick. He bounced back in game 2 because game 1 was a nightmare. So it's good to see the young fella bounce back. Obviously, it's year 1. He's a rookie.
First-year pro ball as well.
It's a first-year pro ball out the country. He has to get his feet under himself with his new team, new organization, new country. Now he's in Darwin playing and having to guard the most improved player who was flat out getting it done for Cairns.
So timeout, 3-point spread, 36-33. See some highlights. Grant Hadasevich connected on a 3-ball, and then Junior Madut's been active inside. Jalen Galloway's shown plenty for the Kings. Lots to like from their youngsters.
Most improved player, reigning, Keanu Pender, came out balling.
He was outstanding. And then
DJ Hogg last night,
yeah, he put on a shooting clinic early, didn't he?
Sure did.
Just stepping into anything within the Darwin local area. DJ Hogg last night. Sean Bruce to get us underway again. Bruce, Galloway, Walton Junior Suarez and Quatnoy out there for the Kings. Another turnover. First turnover of the second term for the Kings, but it's 9 for the game. Damon and Joey in the call last night here on KO Freebies. DJ Boss Hog was the nickname, the Boss Hog.
He can't get that nickname yet. He just had one good quarter. Y'all got to slow down.
Did I earn it a little bit more than that?
Y'all got to slow down with the nicknames.
Can you
Not
earn
after one quarter.
Can't earn a nickname in pre-season, surely. Walton to Galloway. Beautiful finish.
And that's what we're talking about, the playmaking ability. Where he's going to get to the basket and make the right plays for his teammates.
Jalen Galloway streaming down the floor in transition. Galloway's got 7 with a chance to add another at the stripe. He's looking lively here for the Kings. That's 17 minutes on Saturday. Can't add the bonus. Showing that he can certainly slash to the basket, which that much we do know. Nice feed, Adnam.
Oh, that's nice.
Hadasevich steps it inside and knocks down the mid-range jump shot.
That is nice. Nice mid-range hit. And I like the Boss Hog nickname.
Just got to cool it a little bit first.
He not after one quarter.
Not after one quarter of pre-season.
Nah.
He is going to be fun to watch, though, isn't he?
He definitely will be. Shooting the ball like that. He was anywhere near that.
Yeah. There's plenty that can light it up. We saw Devondrick Walker last night for the Bullets. He's one that can score in bunches coming out of the NBL 1 West. He's the third import up there in Brisbane. And we know, Johnson and Sobey, and there's plenty of names. But just some of those, I guess not necessarily the number 1 import on teams that can get the ball in their hand and just fire at will.
And it's important because obviously when you're the top 2 imports, you're going to be on everybody's scouting report. So a lot of times to ease that load, when you come out for a rest, that third import, if Devondrick Walker can do half of what he did in NBL 1, that is an incredible luxury to have coming off your bench. It's
Oh,
good
yeah.
defense right there as they turn the ball over.
A little bit too long inside.
Kings have come out better in the second half where they lacked in the first half. Defense and turning the ball over.
Similar pattern, though. The Phoenix started well, and then the Kings sort of wrestled the momentum back in the middle part of the quarter. Suarez is back out there, had 7 in the opening frame. Walton Jr.'s got a very quiet 10 as well. He's 6 of 7 from the stripe. Little turnaround from Suarez, can't get it to go.
Walton Jr. getting it done. Facilitating and scoring.
And a key part of this Kings championship defence starts against Illawarra on Saturday, October 1. Red numbers on the shot clock. Going to have to get something quickly here. Pinot turned with his left hand and tried to bank it home.
Did everything but dropped. Good positioning. Good pass. Did everything but finish the play.
Friendly enough that it'll stay off Sydney hands and remain a Phoenix ball. So Tarangi out there with Madura, Antosevic, Pinot and Foxwell for the Phoenix. There's that runner again from Foxwell. That one's well off target. He likes that move from the mid-range. Asievich. Little head fake, got Foxwell up in the air. A return serve at the other end.
Young fella does not lack confidence. He's up to 8 points. 2 of 4 from the 3.
Walton pulls it out. Underneath to Simon. And he dribbles it away. Get to trouble the scorers in 11 minutes. It's Justin Simon. Of course, Defensive Player of the Year a couple of years ago with Illawarra. That's where his bread's buttered, at the other end of the floor.
And you know what? He just went to Germany and won Defensive Player of the Year there.
They nicknamed him at his German team in the Bundesliga. So he played at Riesen, and they nicknamed him the Ministry of Defence.
Now that's a cool nickname.
That's a nickname. The Ministry of Defence is Cooks lays the elbow into Foxwell, and that's going the other way.
That's an easy call. Foxwell getting it done quietly at the defensive end as well.
Yep. Mismatch against Cooks. Well, Cooks certainly thought so, and Foxwell's there to hold his own.
Young man showing a lot of courage. Getting a stop right there against the Grand Final MVP and the New Zealand NBL MVP. Cooks was cleaning up, man.
MVP's everywhere for Xavier Cooks, and there's plenty of people's pick to add another one. Down to red numbers on the shot clock. Foxwell had it knocked away. Ball in dispute. It's going to stay with the Phoenix.
And that should be penalty, and it is.
Yep.
The 5th foul.
Didn't take them long in the first quarter, and we're back there with both teams here in the second period, and the Phoenix with a chance to tie things up at 40. Both quarters have followed a really similar pattern. Phoenix got out to the early start. Kings dragged it back in the middle part of the first quarter, and then the Phoenix have come with a bit of a run to end the second. Foxwell's got 9 on 3 of 8 shooting, but he's got a couple of 3 balls into double digits.
And again, the story of the first half, Gary Brown out with injury.
Yep.
Hopefully it's not serious, but we got to keep an eye on this.
The young fella's stepping up in his place so far, and he's causing Kevin Lish, the stand-in Sydney coach, a couple of headaches. So we're tied away at 40 with a minute 34 remaining. Derek Walton Jr. to step to the free throw line. Nice job early stages. Glad I started saying that right as he let that go. I feel like I somehow avoided the commentator's curse there as that comes off the back iron. 6 of 8 from the line now is Walton Jr. Makes the second. So he's got 11 to lead all scorers. Foxwell's got, in fact, Foxwell's got 10 for the Phoenix. Madut has 9, 41-40. There is Madut. Nice feed. Pinot had it knocked away. Asievich the other way. Cooks makes his move. Vasievich gets the floater to go.
And you know why he was able to get that shot off? Jordan Hunter continued to dive to the basket, so the defender didn't know who to commit to, which allowed DJV to get that floater off.
Second chance opportunity here for the Phoenix. Savage puts it on the floor. Foxwell, it was down almost. Rattled its way out.
Dane Pinot doing what he does. Getting on them old boards.
Makes a living at the offensive end, does Dane Pinot.
And now he gets an opportunity to go to the charity stripe for 2. Both teams going hard. We got a timeout. Both teams going to talk about it.
Like this, as we get toward the end of the first half. Dane Pinot 4 offensive rebounds in each of his 2 NBL Blitz games so far. Just over half a minute remaining in this opening half. Phoenix ball down 3. Joel Peterson and Corey Homicide Williams with you on KO Freebies. Melbourne United and Perth later tonight. Perth on top of the NBL Blitz standings heading into night 6. Adelaide 2-0 as well. Brisbane 2-0. The Hawks 2-0. The Jack Jumpers are the only team to have split 2 games. And then New Zealand and Cairns winless through 2. So too Southeast Melbourne coming into tonight. And then United and Sydney both zipping 1.
You know who I am thoroughly impressed with? Next star, Ryan Rupert.
Oh, yeah.
Listen, that kid got lottery written all over him. He's only going to get better.
Yeah.
He had 17 last night and 8. Game before that, he had 12. And last night, he had 4 threes.
Yeah, he wasn't shy last night, was he?
But what I like about it is he's picking you up full court. Defensively, he is no joke. Look, if he's guarding you full court, just give the ball up. His wingspan has got to be about 7'1", 7'2".
Bit sort of Matisse Thybulle-ish, isn't he?
Yeah.
Just don't dribble the ball in his postcode.
Loving the young fella's work.
29 minutes, 17 points, 8 rebounds last night. 4 of 9 from downtown for Rupert. Tipped by many to be the next to make it to the association from the NBL as Cooks splashes in a 3.
He's up to 10.
First
4 or
triple.
5 from the field, quietly.
Just an accumulator, isn't he? Kings shooting 15 of 25, but 11 turnovers. And almost a turnover here from the Phoenix, but it was off Sydney hands. 1 second remaining in the half.
Highly contested game, highly competitive.
Bit of situational basketball here too on offer.
But the story again with the first half, if you're just joining us, Mitch Creek out, Trey Kell out, Ryan Brokoff out. Gary Brown goes down in the first quarter. We don't know what's wrong. Hopefully by halftime we might hear something, and we hope that it is not serious.
Quick look for Smith-Milner. Off the front iron. Can't get it to go. And halftime sees the Kings up by 5, 46-41. over the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix. Derek Walton Jr.'s got 11. Xavier Cooks with 10 for the Kings. Owen Foxwell with 10 has been impressive for the Phoenix, and as Corey Williams told you, a bit of an injury concern to Gary Brown, which will chase up here in the halftime interval. 2 games tonight, night 6 of NBL Blitz 23. And in the first, at halftime, it is the Kings 46 to the Phoenix 41. We'll take a short break and be back in a moment here on KO Freebies.
A sequel, months in the making. Summer in the NT. Why wait till December? Seek an early summer holiday in the Northern Territory.
Half-time in Game 1 of our NBL Blitz double-header on night 6 here on KO Freebies. 46-41 Sydney over the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix. Joel Peterson and former league MVP Corey Homicide Williams with you on your Wednesday evening. Great to have your company. First of 2 games for tonight. The teams are in for the second game. We'll get to that shortly. Of course, the big story out of the first half here, Corey, the injury to Gary Brown, the import guard for the Phoenix. Played 4.5 or so minutes in that opening term and went down with what looked like maybe a knee knock as he went to the floor on the far sideline. So hopefully all is okay there.
Yeah, hopefully he's okay. Just heard it back from Tommy Greer, CEO of the Phoenix, and they're just going to run a couple of tests later.
Yep.
Just to make sure he's fine, but he won't be playing the rest of this game. So
Going straight to the top. I like that.
yeah, former teammate of mine.
Yeah, of course.
So just ask
Check
the
in
big
with the
dog.
boss.
Just check in with the big dog. So
no Creek, no Brockhoff, no Trey Cal. Of course, haven't had Creek or Brockhoff. Brockhoff with a hamstring, Creek with an ankle. Trey Cal suffered a rib injury in the preseason. And now no Gary Brown for the second half here. So a little bit more extended time for Owen Foxwell, who's got 10 points on 14.5 minutes in the opening half. Junior Badut with 9 leading the way for the Phoenix. Didn't see a lot of Alan Williams in that second period with foul trouble. He had 5 and 4 in the opening frame. He's got 5 at the half. Derek Walton Jr. with a pretty quiet 11 in the opening half. And Xavier Cooks with a pretty quiet 10 as well that just accumulated and ticked over the scoreboard for the Kings. But really the story of the opening half, or story of the opening quarter for the Kings, was the turnovers, and they did a better job in that second frame, outscoring the Phoenix 24-14.
and they also did a better job on the defensive end. They tightened up. Phoenix had 27 at the end of the first quarter. They scored 14 points in that second term. So Kings would be happy. Kevin Lish should be happy with how the team came out on the defensive end in the second quarter, as well as how much better they took care of the ball.
So teams in for our second game of the night. No Mitch Norton, no Jesse Wagstaff for Perth. We do see Tayshaun Thomas, though, who's in, the import big man, having missed a couple with injuries. So looking forward to seeing what he can produce.
Flat out gun. Flat out gun. He will take an extreme amount of pressure off of Bryce Cotton down the stretch of games. And they need a basket.
Yep, they do. And he's going to be a very exciting prospect. Looking forward to seeing him out there later on tonight. No Shea Illy for United, but Chris Golding's back for United, which is good to see. And of course, Dave Barlow confirmed as a contracted player a couple of days ago for United, which completes one of the great retirements of about 20 days in league history.
When you still got some left in the tank, it is hard to walk away.
He must have. They just got in his ear and talked him into coming back. So that's what's up next for you on KO Freebies. That's from 8 o'clock Eastern, so 7:30 Central, 6 o'clock Western time. If you're over in the West looking to watch the Wildcats this evening, they are one who's going to be right in the mix as far as the championship fight's concerned. Last night, Illawarra, 4-point winners over New Zealand behind 27 from Tyler Harvey, and a breakout game from Ryan Repair, who showed lots. And the Brisbane Bullets, 77 over the Taipans, 76. Tyler Johnson hitting the game winner with 15 seconds left. Javondrick Walker in double digits off the bench. Tomorrow night, Tassie and Cairns, the Hawks and the Sixers. And then Friday night to close things out in NBL Blitz, the Breakers and the Kings. And Melbourne United taking on Brisbane. Back underway here in the second half. Madut, Adnam, Tarangi, Handasevich and Williams out there for the Phoenix. Simon Vasievich, Cooks, Derek Walton Jr. and Kuat-Noi for the Kings. Straight away a foul on Alan Williams. So he's already in foul trouble. Picks up a very cheap one. That's going to do Simon Mitchell no favours here in this second half. Vasievich left it a little bit short, and Madut raced down the floor and pulls it back out. Tarangi was cold from behind the arc in the opening half. Adnam, tough shot. Hand on his face, knocks it down from the baseline. And Noi comes immediately back the other way. Justin Simon still yet to score in this ball game for the Kings. 3 rebounds, a couple of fouls to his name. Pinot spins inside.
And Justin Simon is a guy in the open court is when he's going to be most effective, because obviously the strongest part of his game isn't his offensive package. So he's going to get a lot of baskets in transition, and Kyle Adnam from the other baseline. Bucket. 3-point deficit for the Phoenix.
Up to 9 for Adnam. Cooks from downtown. That's well short. He's going to have to shoulder the offensive load with Gary Brown out with injury. He's Kyle Adnam. He's had 16 and 19 in his first 2 preseason performances. Owen Foxwell getting a bit of extended run as Simon Mitchell barks the instructions from the sideline.
Foxwell has come off the bench and has been exceptional in the first half.
Adnam goes to work again, gets the friendly roll. So back to 1.
That's good defense right there.
They've come out of the blocks in every quarter pretty well, the Phoenix. Whatever Simon Mitchell says to them at the breaks works, and now Kevin Lish is going to have a chance to talk to the Kings, and the Phoenix are back in front.
And that is how you want to see your team come out and set the tone at both ends. The short-handed Phoenix. And they are short-handed.
Oh, yeah.
4 key players out at the moment. But they've come out well in this third quarter.
Yeah, they're hanging around. They've got plenty who want to make an impression. After trailing by 5 at the half, they led by 5 at quarter time, and they've opened this second half on an 8-2 scoring run to lead by 1 after almost 2.5 minutes. Joel Peterson and Corey Williams with you on your Wednesday evening on KO Freebies. NBL Blitz 23 taking place at the Darwin basketball facility. Got to see some great crowds in across the course of the week. Plenty of kids enjoying what they see. Sean Bruce just limbering up on the baseline for the Kings. You were saying earlier, Corey, you spent some pre-season time in the top end before an NBL campaign. How'd you find that experience?
Oh, man. Well, when I came and played with the Townsville Crocs, we did a blitz up here, and I went to Crocosaurus Cove.
Yep. How'd you go with the big fellas?
The first time, they ignored me while I was in the tank. So they're like, dude, listen, we get teased every day. We're not impressed. Just get out the tank and go about your business. Nothing happened. However, I came up a couple of years ago when we did the 3x3 hustle. And there was a croc named Otis. Never forget this croc. I decided, like most idiots, get my smartphone and go real close to the croc.
Try and get a selfie.
And he jumped up. I'm going to post that video. I've never screamed like this in my life. Oh, my God. I'm going to post that video.
All right.
After this second game. I'm going to find the video and post it.
Oh, I look forward to seeing it. I look forward to seeing it.
I don't play with wild animals
Otis.
anymore. And Otis was maybe about almost maybe 3 meters.
Oh, that's big enough. Yeah, that's big enough.
Yeah, dude.
I'm thinking about 3 centimeters big enough for a crocodile.
Man.
Yeah, that's some serious gravy. Cook splits him at the line, tied at 49. Hopefully none of these players over the week of NBL Blitz have had an encounter with Otis. Or any of his family members. Tarangi looked like he was looking inside for the lob pass to Pinot. It's off Phoenix hands. Well, maybe the first time. I mean, if you're playing for the Crocs, they might have given you a free pass the first time. The second time, Otis not so welcoming. Foul on the play.
I'm going to find that video.
Walton looking to distribute again. He's been impressive. 11 points, hasn't missed from the field. 3 assists. A takeaway for Derek Walton Jr. in there as well. Now foul off the ball. It's going on Junior Madut, who's again trying to talk the umpire or the referee out of it. 4 on Madut now.
And 4 team fouls.
Seen they've wasted no time racking up the team fouls, both teams, so far. So 4 on Williams, 4 on Junior Madut, and 3 on Adnam, Tarangi, and Antisevich for the Phoenix. Vasievich loses the handle.
Foxwell getting a hand on that. Good defense.
Continued his good work. And then he goes to the floor. He's been throwing himself around as young Owen Foxwell. 10 first half points for the youngster. Adnam with 11 now to lead all scorers for South East Melbourne. Walton Jr. and Cooks also with 11 in the ball game. South East Melbourne going down to the Sixers by 8 and the Wildcats by 16 earlier in their NBL Blitz campaign. The Kings losing to the Jack Jumpers in their only preseason game so far, 53-73. You said earlier, Corey, you'll give them 5 weeks to get through their preseason when it's only the second game they've played and other teams are playing maybe game number 4 or 5, almost more of a reason to give them a bit of a free pass.
Exactly. It's very difficult. It's not like they're coming in with the same team. Coming in with a lot of key players gone. That was the best trio in the NBL.
League MVP in that mix. Jarrell Martin and Ian Clark as well as Adams.
I mean, that trio was sensational. And with them gone, you have a whole new crop of imports. You know, guys got to get accustomed to time zone, the offense, teammates, travel.
Yep.
So there's so many things that go into you really ready to play basketball the way you possibly can at your best, right? You got to get in some kind of rhythm, so it takes time. And that's why I give them 4 or 5 rounds.
Simon picking up his 4th foul for the Kings. Adnam comes up a little short. Quite noise in there for Sydney. Vasievich streaking through the lane. Walton goes baseline. He's fouled on the play. And that'll put Phoenix in the penalty with more than 5 minutes remaining here in this third period. It's going to be a long end to this third term. Ruben Tarangi now with his fourth foul. Toby Smith-Milner checks into the ball game. So 49 apiece. Kings with just 3 points so far in this second half. Make it 4 as Walton hits the first of 2 to take his tally to 12. Hasn't missed from the field. He's 8 of 10, as you can see from the stripe. Northern Territory playing host to NBL Blitz in 2023. Terrific support from the NT government. Beautiful part of the world. As Adnam lights it up from downtown.
I mean, he is doing what he does whenever the offensive foul, great defense. Listen, Foxwell is balling.
Yep.
Yes, Kyle Adnam is balling in this first half of the third quarter, but Foxwell coming off the bench, recognizing opportunity, is taking full advantage of it at both ends, specifically getting under the skin of DJ. Top locks him. DJ pushes him in frustration. Offensive foul.
It's been a good duel, and if they're going to be without Gary Brown for a little while,
he's going to have the opportunity to play.
Yep. He's going to have some extended minutes. Little runner from Adnam's nice.
Oh, man. Kyle Adnam is just picking this defense apart.
So 16 points for Adnam. Spent a couple of years in his career being sort of an almost player like that. Oh, yeah, I like Kyle Adnam. Oh, yeah, he's okay. And now he's just legitimately turning into a real force. Trying to distribute there to Foxwell, who had the three go up and down. And then Simon ran over Foxwell. Simon Mitchell wanted the offensive foul. So did Junior Madut. Foul's going on Owen Foxwell. Watch Cooks just lowers the shoulder into him. Junior Madut bouncing up and down on the baseline. Alan Williams and Simon Mitchell providing plenty of support. You can see Ryan Brockhoff over the back there in the black shirt with the glasses on. Standing at the back of the bench. Of course, not out there for the Phoenix tonight. Simon to open his account. Rattles it in.
In a low-scoring game like this isn't in favor of Simon. He needs to be up and down, running, gun, free-flowing, so he can get a lot of those baskets, cutting to the baskets in transition.
Yep.
Getting layups, backdoor cuts, things of that nature for him to tick over the scorebox.
Only 2 fast break points in the entire first half as Adnam goes from downtown again.
That man is on fire, taking matters into his own hands in this quarter.
19 for Adnam now with a couple of triples here in the term as Foxwell's called for another foul and scoots away in disbelief. So Adnam now with 19, 16 and 19 in 3 games in the NBL Blitz.
Consistent, reliable.
Captain is leading from the front.
When I think of Kyle Adnam, I think of those 2 things. Reliable and consistent.
Walton Jr. steps to the line. Was Adnam a championship player with Melbourne United in 2018. 4th season at the Phoenix now. Captaining the team. Mitch Creek and Ryan Brockhoff in that leadership group for Simon Mitchell's outfit. Offensive foul. A little bit sloppy from both teams at times. Side ball with Galloway, who was really impressive in that first half. A couple of nice flashing moves to the basket. He had 7 in the first half of the game. Now another foul, this time on Pinot.
And that's what happens when you are over the limit. Teams are just literally going to... Oh, no, that's...
No, the offensive foul.
Offensive foul. Get the ball to the hot hand.
Looked like Simon Mitchell still wasn't happy with the call.
Oh, Simon's going to work the ref.
Even when he gets one
No
going
worries
his way.
about that.
Junior Madut, not afraid to put it up. Adnam from deep. Oh. He's feeling it, Kyle Adnam. That one rims out. So 20 fouls on the Kings and 23 on the Phoenix so far, keeping the refs plenty busy. Free throw line jump shot from Walton Jr. is no good. Hunter keeps it alive. Galloway misplaced the feed.
And he kept the dribble. He had a layup with that left hand.
Nice frame, Jalen Galloway. Going to be a big improver this season. Anasevich with the step through, rejected by Hunter. Out to Smith-Milner.
Good defensive possession by the Kings. And with that foul, sends him to the free throw line.
So Suarez, who had 7 in the opening frame, he's going to get an opportunity here. And a timeout. 55-57. The Kings trail the Phoenix. Second game coming up from 8 o'clock Eastern, Melbourne United and Perth. Second game of the campaign for United. Perth finishing up their NBL Blitz tonight after wins over Cairns and South East Melbourne. They've been undefeated in the pre-season, the Wildcats, with a couple of wins over Adelaide in their pre-NBL Blitz fixtures. Scrappy the other night against the Phoenix, but got the job done by 16. And the Phoenix up by 2 with 2.5 remaining here in this third period. Joel Peterson and Corey Homicide Williams with you on KO Freebies. It's fair to make the playoffs this year, the Phoenix, Corey. What needs to change for them?
Well, Mitch Creek needs to be healthy. Trey Kell, Bruckhoff, obviously Gary Brown.
They sort of feel like one of those sides that's going to need everything to break right, don't they?
Outside of that, I just feel for them to be serious about getting into this final series, they need to make sure they can close out and win those tightly contested games.
Yep.
That was the difference last season. A lot of close games that they had, they were not able to close it out. So if they can turn that corner, and a lot of that is all mental, they can turn that corner, it's a different team.
Even just against the Kings. I mean, 2 of those 3 games they played against Sydney last year decided within 5.
That can't happen. Got to make those wide open dunks.
Opportunity goes begging. Here's Smith-Milner in the corner. And you're presented with something golden like that, you've got to take it. Bale's out there now. As Suarez takes it inside and throws it down with 2 hands. Nice move from the Brazilian big man. Kings back ahead, 58-57. Nearing the end of the third period. Adnam from in the keyway can't get it to go. Is that going to be a Phoenix ball? It's going to stay with the Kings. In fact, it is going to be a South East Melbourne ball. Phoenix by 5 at quarter time. Kings by 5 at half time. Outscored the Phoenix 24-14 after the Phoenix scored 27 first half points. First quarter points, I should say. It's been 12-16 here in this period. Madut, low numbers, out to Andasevich, had it blocked by Galloway.
Great contest. Real good defense by the Kings. That possession. Galloway, 7 points, 2 blocks. Doing a real good job coming off the bench for the Kings.
Couple of denials for Galloway, who was active in that first half. Bruce lines up the triple. That's short. Foul underneath the basket. That's going to go against Dane Pinot. Had a little bit of a hold on Hunter. Kings shooting 61% from 2-point range, 50% overall. The Phoenix 20 of 52 on the evening thus far.
I found the Croc video.
Oh, yeah. Otis. Might go viral this time if it didn't the first time it was out in the world. So Hunter opens his account at the stripe and makes both. 3 points now, the Kings lead. And again, the Phoenix have got up early in quarters. And the Kings have just found a way to drag it back toward the end of the period. Adnam inside, strong move, Smith-Milner. Both sides in the penalty for a long way here in this third period. Kings coming off a loss to Tassie in their first NBL Blitz game. Bruce sets the feet behind the three-point line. And a good box out from Smith-Milner.
Which he will now have an opportunity to regain this lead. It has been a free throw shooting contest in this third.
Kings have gone to the line for 30 foul shots. Phoenix 17 before this from Smith-Milner. Doesn't get the friendly roll with the first, so at best he can tie it up at 60. 4 points for Toe Smith-Milner. Just under 12 minutes, and he does tie it up. So 60 apiece with 30 seconds to go here in this third period. Neither side's really been able to get an edge, despite the Phoenix being so short-handed, as Galloway goes all the way and just can't lay it in. Didn't quite have the touch. Hales providing some pressure on Madut, who gets inside and has it swatted.
Again, real good rim protection. Didn't even get to the rim. Good defense by Jordan Hunter. Crowded the paint. Good on-ball defense.
Third block for the big man. Of course, coming off that foot injury last season. So 2 seconds left in the quarter. What can the Phoenix dial up? Adnam, baseline, no. He beat the three-quarter time buzzer earlier in the week. He can't do it there. So we go to the end of three, all tied up. It was the Phoenix by 5 at quarter time. It was the Kings by 5 at halftime. And after three, they cannot be split. 60 points apiece. On night 6 of the NBL Blitz at the Darwin basketball facility. Kings shooting at 47% from the field. They started 4 of 4 in the early stages of the game. Some good rim protection. Galloway with a couple of blocks. Hunter with 3. Slight edge on the boards to the Phoenix. And they've come up with a few loose balls as well. Of course, the real story out of the game from a Phoenix perspective, Gary Brown going down with a knee injury that they'll assess. So Kyle Adams had to shoulder the scoring load. He leads all with 19. Owen Foxwell also had a couple of moments in that, especially in the first half, with all 10 of his coming in the first half. And Derek Walton Jr. has just kept the scoreboard ticking over from the Kings' perspective with 15. He's going to be a force at the point guard position for Sydney in this NBL 23 season. Kings to start their campaign against the Hawks on Saturday, October 1. The Hawks undefeated in the preseason so far after a close win over New Zealand last night. Southeast Melbourne take on Tassie in their first contest on the 1st of the 10th. First month for the Phoenix is a clash against Tassie. And they're at Illawarra. They host Cairns. They've got New Zealand on October the 15th. Then they're at the Breakers in the return leg of that trip. They host Brisbane at Perth. Host Adelaide to close out the month. The Kings start with Illawarra. They've got Brisbane at home, Melbourne United away, then Cairns and a trip to Brisbane in round 3. The Sixers and United in round 4, and then they're home for Cairns in round 5 to close out the month. So quarter to go. Phoenix looking for their first win in the pre-season so far. 60 apiece as we turn for home. First of our doubleheader this evening on KO Freebies. Melbourne United and Perth to finish us off this evening.
Quite annoyed with the travel. Well, I've been impressed with the Phoenix this game. Obviously, with 4 key players out. They have been in this game from the beginning.
Showed a bit of grit, haven't they? Oh, Galloway tried to spike it. Just lost the handle at the critical moment. Couple of explosive moves to the basket from Jalen Galloway in this game. And a Sevic out on the left side. Smith-Milner, he's liked the look of a couple of 3 balls so far. Long 2 in the end as Andasevic steps inside the arc and knocks it down.
Nice. One dribble inside the 3.
Seen that a couple of times from him, haven't we?
He can knock that down. Consistent outside threat. You've got to see the legend Luke Longley. Top right screen. Next to Wagstaff. Western Australia is in the house.
Well represented as they will be a little bit later on when the Wildcats get underway. Andasevic, of course, played his college ball at Cal Berkeley, the Golden Bears.
How awesome is it to have a legend like Luke Longley in our league?
Yep. Listening to Chase Buford talk on the Huddle podcast with Liam Santamaria about the impact that Longley has just as a bit of a sounding board for a lot of the players and for Chase Buford himself. A lot of those conversations happening over a game of backgammon. That he, of course, having been with the Boomers for a while and stepping into that role with the Kings, he's such a wealth of experience. A little bit too long inside, a turnover against the Phoenix. Alan Williams back out there after sitting out most of that third period with foul trouble. He's only played 8.5 minutes in this game for 5 points and 5 boards. And he had about the first 3 touches of the ball game for the Phoenix. Bales can't get the friendly roll. Ball ping-pongs around. Out off Williams. It's going to be the battle for him, and you mentioned it right off the top, isn't it, Corey? Just to try and reduce the foul trouble he finds himself in, Alan Williams.
Comes with a lot of experience. Good pass. Good finish with that left hand. Jordy Hunter.
Showed some signs in the second half. Hunter, because he had the foot fracture. He missed all of NBL 22. 33 starts in the 21 season when he finished second in the most improved player voting. So he's one who could have a real impact for this Sydney team. He's basically a recruit for them.
Yeah, he is. And super talented. Obviously, as you said, missed the whole last year. But he should have a big one this year. Because between he and Soares, that's how they're going to split time at that 5 position.
Both bring a bit of rim protection, as we've seen from Hunter tonight with blocks. Oh, beautiful feed from Kyle Adnam. The look-away pass.
Oh, my goodness. He is balling.
That's a gorgeous dime. Smith-Milner lays it in. At the other end, Galloway with a finish of equal class.
Kyle Adnam, 19 and 5 dimes. That was a beautiful one.
Madut goes to ground. Adnam dives after the loose ball. Kings in the open court. Mitchell lays it in.
Listen, that wasn't the prettiest, but as long as the result was 2 points, you'll take it.
Haven't had too many fast break opportunities for either side tonight.
No, there have not been. Kyle Adnam would take a seat. Great play this second half.
He's done his bit for the evening, hasn't he? Kyle Adnam, the captain. Beautiful look-away dime to find Smith-Milner cutting to the basket. It's great court awareness. And the foul on McCoy. Great story, Jackson McCoy. Of course, he's been playing with South Sudan, helping them qualify for the 2023 FIBA World Cup. He and Joe Luala-Chul among that team. Of course, the Women's World Cup coming up in the next few weeks in Sydney. The Opals will be in action, led by Tess Madgen. The Men's World Cup to follow next year. Kings by 4, early stages, final period. Tied at 60 as we went to three-quarter time. Antisevich liked the look of the long ball. Madut in there on the offensive glass again. No good for Foxwell, but Madut's continued on his good work tonight.
Yes, he has. He's been active. I really like what I've seen. Oh, good defense. Good hands by Foxwell. Breaking that up.
Bench unit in there for the Kings at the moment. Galloway, McCoy, Suarez, Mitchell and Noy. Suarez puts the ball on the floor in the open court.
Another steal. Foxwell coming up with the goods.
10 points, 3 steals, 3 rebounds for Owen Foxwell. Of course, extended minutes with that injury to Gary Brown, a knee injury. Madut out to Tarangi. No good.
Madut comes up with another board. Good hustle.
5 of 19 from downtown, the Phoenix. Foxwell goes to the left hand. He's fouled on the play.
Just loving his aggression. You know, it's a great feeling when you know sometimes you're shorthanded where coach has to play you more minutes than he probably wouldn't play you under normal circumstances. So you have more freedom. And obviously when the ball is going through the hoop, you become more confident.
That green light just gets brighter.
And we're seeing it. And it looks really good on him.
So 12 points. He's the second leading scorer in the ball game on Foxwell. Played just 4 games in NBL 22. McCoy goes behind the back to Iggy Mitchell. Sydney product. Bruce. Noy gets inside. Hung but couldn't hit. Tarangi, nice dump-off pass, and Williams couldn't get the finish. McCoy coming back the other way. The crowd likes that.
Nice take and left-hand finish.
Kings by 4. I think that it was 27-22 in the opening frame. It's been a bit of a defensive soush since then. Mitchell sets his feet in the corner.
Kings having their way. This has been a wrestling match.
Now with that bench lineup out there, it's given them a little bit of zip. Kevin Lish should be liking what he's seeing. No doubt Chase Buford would be too. Lish assuming head coaching duties for the evening. Foul on the play. Alan Williams keels over in frustration.
Wow.
And a technical timeout it's going to be. So Williams has fouled out. That might have been another foul on the bench, as Williams, with a frustration foul, finds himself out of the game. Sean Bruce steps to the line. Good man to have it in the hands of. 65 of 72 at the free throw line as a Sydney King. Does not miss too many. And the Kings will keep the rock. So it was a technical on the bench. 74-66. The Phoenix have hung around. Maybe now just starting to lose their way a little bit. Williams has fouled out of the ball game. Gary Brown's gone through injury. 4 fouls on Tarangi, on Antasevich, on Madut and Foxwell. So they've got to be careful in these closing minutes as well. McCoy getting the chance to bring the ball up the floor. Bruce likes the look of that.
Nice hit. Now it's a 12-point game. I mean, just think about it. With all the pieces missing, then with Williams in foul trouble, the Phoenix have done a great job hanging in the game, keeping it close.
Yep.
And it's still a ball game.
Yep. Yeah, led by Adnam and by Foxwell and Junior Madut. They've just been able to scrap their way. Sydney's class might tell here in this final period, but you'd think Simon Mitchell, although frustrated with elements of the ball game, he'd have to be happy with most of what he's seen.
You would have to be. You had to go with pretty much your bench. So the takeaway for me is at least you know you can count on them when you call on them.
That's what preseason's all about, really, isn't it? Find out what you've got, who's got what to offer. McCoy's layup goes around and out. Adnam's back in there now for the Phoenix. Beautiful feed, Antasevich underneath to Pinot, and that'll count.
Good find with a high-low action.
(78-69). Derek Walton Jr., the leading scorer for the Kings with 15. He's sitting on the sideline at the moment. Nice move. McCoy finishes with the left hand.
You can tell he got a little bit frustrated last time he went down there. Did everything but stay down.
Kyle Adnam leads all scorers with 19. Provided probably the highlight of the game so far with that beautiful no-look feed to Smith-Milner.
That no-look was super elite.
"20 turnovers again for the Kings. Bit of a... I know we're not too concerned about pre-season week. We've got the 5-week buffer for the Kings. Is that a minor concern? As Noise splashes a 3.
Yeah, you got to clean that up for sure.
That would come with the territory of just new group, second pre-season game in total, though.
Correct.
And I mean, championship caliber roster. No doubt they've got the leadership just to keep things in perspective a bit. Here's Foxwell again, who'll get a chance at the stripe.
You got to remember how, let's talk last year, how it started for the Kings. A couple of games in, they came down to Melbourne and got blasted by almost 50. It was tough for them. I wrote them off. And then maybe 2 games they had won, and then Jalen Adams dunk over Brisbane.
Yes.
And they somehow win that game and went on an unbelievable streak. Maybe about, 12, 13 wins? Unbelievable. And the season gets turned around, and they win.
Never look back, did they?
With all that said, championship is in March. It's early days.
Yep, that's when they came to play. Nice finish from Mitchell on the offensive end for the Kings. Adnam hand in the face, bothered the shot. Pinot again gobbles up another offensive rebound. Wild 3 from Madut. He'll just continue to fire. We know that much about Junior Madut. 9 points, 8 rebounds, 2 assists, a steal, and a block. He's been active. Galloway liked the look of the triple. See some of the Wildcats players behind the Southeast Melbourne bench getting set for their game later tonight. Melbourne United and Perth, the second of our doubleheader here on KO Freebies. Joel Peterson and Corey Homicide Williams to bring you that from 8 o'clock Eastern, 7:30 Central, 6 o'clock Western time. If you're a Wildcats fan out west. Beautiful again from Adnam. Gets the runner to go with the soft touch. He's got 21. His best performance of the Blitz in terms of scoring the ball. 21, 19 and 16 in 3 games. He has more than held his own. Some minutes now for Rossetto in there banging bodies with Hunter, and Mitchell gets the putback to go. So that's to a 14-point spread now, which maybe flatters the Kings a touch. The Phoenix have been a little bit better than that margin would indicate. Well, probably a lot better. 60 apiece. Much like the Phoenix did in that opening quarter, the Kings have already got 27 on the board here in the final period. And this man just keeps delivering. How good has Kyle Adnam been? Outstanding individual performance with 24. He's in mid-season form. So a minute to go in this one. 13-point lead to the Kings. Foxwell lines up the straightaway 3.
Hell of a game for the young fella.
He's one of the big positives to come out of it for the Phoenix,
Yes,
isn't he?
he has. Yes, he has been a big positive.
So if you're a Phoenix fan, Corey, what else do you like that you've seen here in this contest?
I like Junior Madut. And I like the fight that this team put on. Especially being severely shorthanded.
Yep. And then, so shorthanded with an injury in the early stages. That's a recipe for disaster in some teams.
And they showed that grit. So that's what I'd take away from this match if I'm a Phoenix fan.
If you're a Kings fan,
You got to win. But your young fellas off the bench came in and played well as well.
Yeah, Galloway's been good.
Derek Walton Jr.
Yep.
Set the table early.
Foxwell fouls out, so he and Williams both with 5 fouls. 17 points for Foxwell in the end. 4 rebounds, 2 assists, 3 steals.
Basically, the Kings came in and did what they needed to do.
Mark of a good team, isn't it? That ability to win ugly.
Yeah, got a bit of the rust off. A bit. And on to the next.
So McCoy at the stripe with 10 seconds remaining. Makes it 90 for the Kings, who had 60 through 3 quarters. And they're going to run out the clock. It's a Kings win, the first of the preseason for the reigning champs. They get it done over the Phoenix in the first game of night 6 of the NBL Blitz. A short-handed Southeast Melbourne can't stick around with the Kings, who win at 91-79 up in Darwin. Some of the highlights, and so many of them, Corey, came from Kyle Adnam.
Big second half. No, he's not going out without a fight. You can rely on him coming off the bench or in the starting lineup. A savvy vet. Has not looked like he's aged in decades.
Not at all. Suarez showed some signs, and Luke Longley liked that on the baseline as well, applauding the work of big Tim Suarez. Jordan Hunter with a good second half with a couple of blocks. And here's the play of the night. Kyle Adnam finding Smith Milner, cutting to the basket with a beautiful no-look feed. Gorgeous dime from the Southeast Melbourne captain. And knocked in a few triples to go with it. So Walton Jr. led the Kings in scoring. 15 points. He only actually attempted 3 shots from the field. He was 11 of 13 at the line. Galloway had 9 off the bench for the Kings. Suarez had 12 on 4 of 5 shooting, and Xavier Cooks had 11 as well for Sydney. For the Phoenix, Kyle Adnam, 24 points on 10 of 19 shooting, 3 of 7 from downtown, 5 assists. Owen Foxwell had 17. He hit 3 from behind the arc, but 7 of 24 from downtown for the Phoenix wasn't going to be enough to get it done. And they finished their NBL Blitz campaign without a win, so a loss to Adelaide, a loss to Perth, and a loss to Sydney. 3 very tough opponents, no doubt about that for the Phoenix. But a little bit to work on ahead of their first game against Tassie on Saturday, October 1. For the Kings, they're back in action Friday night against New Zealand at 5:30 Eastern Time. Still plenty more to come from the Darwin basketball facility tonight on KO Freebies. Melbourne United and Perth to do battle in about half an hour from now. We'll step away and we'll be back with you for that one as NBL Blitz 23 continues.